How do you know that the director is the real deal?
I'm not especially big on judging people in an absolute way. So what I would characterize is directors I am most fulfilled working with. And that would be interactive ones, you know. I want somebody who both brings ideas and has, you know, very strong feelings, but is also collaborative, you know, and is willing to, if a better idea is presented, you know, whether it's the producer or the actor or the craft services person, is open to considering that, you know, because it's about the movie we are all making, not about, you know, their ego. So that's my preferred archetype. The ones who aren't prepared, you know, frustrate me because we should all be prepared. The ones who, you know, when I say, how would you like to shoot this? And they say, what do you think? A few times that's okay. I mean, I've asked my lighting crew before, I'm a little stymied. Do you have any ideas? But if that is the standard MO, well, I'm carrying them and it's not fun for me. I mean, maybe it would be fun for somebody else. Maybe there's, you know, a DP out there who just has delusions of grandeur and is a wannabe director who would be thrilled to work with that person. But for me, it's a collaboration. You know, I want to feel like we're doing something together. And if I'm getting nothing from them, then it's kind of like, it's just not that much fun. Same on the other hand, if I have somebody who is really overbearing and controlling and I feel like I have no input, then I just, you know, it's not fun. It's not exciting. It's kind of like, I just feel like I'm, you know, just I don't even know what you'd call it, just a worker drone, you know, just taking instructions and not interpreting at all. So, you know, again, to me, the sweet spot is in the middle. And there's a range too. I mean, you know, it could be, you know, a little more me or a little more them. I mean, that's okay. You know, it could tilt. And you know, with good people, sometimes it does tilt. You know, sometimes, you know, like I said, you know, sometimes, you know, somebody may say to me, why don't you take the lead on this one? I'm like, okay, let's do that. You know, or sometimes they're like, no, I know exactly how I want this. So you know, that dynamic being flexible and throughout, that's okay. But it's really that when you get in that default mode, if it tilts too far one way or the other, and just every day is like that, then, you know, that's not the thing that gets me excited to get out of bed in the morning.
What is not being prepared?
Well, not having a sense of how you want to cover a scene, not having a sense of the type of coverage you want, not having some sense of how you want to cut the scene. And I will qualify this by saying it's perfectly okay to have that idea and get on set and have an epiphany and throw it all away and say, let's do something different. That's fine, you know, but at least we have a fallback plan. We are never going to get to set and go, I don't know what I want to do, you know, and then, you know, time drags to a stop. Anytime that stuff happens, you know, in my mind, it's sand going out of my hourglass to do nice lighting. You know, somebody's eating up time. If time is being wasted, I'm going to have to make up for it because somebody's going to say, light it simpler, light it quicker, shoot it in less, you know, less coverage. You know, that's where the buck is going to stop, and it's depressing to me. You know, in the same way that I don't want the director waiting on me to light a scene. You know, I want the people to have that already roughed in so that when we walk in there, it comes in and maybe just some tweaks. In that same way, I don't really want to be sitting there waiting on somebody else, whether it's the director or wardrobe or the actor. Because, you know, I've worked with, there's a particular music video artist I worked with who just showed up 6 hours late. You know, that's that person's money. You know, they paid for it. They paid our salaries, but, you know, it's like that's not why I'm there, is to make that money. I mean, I want, you show up and I show up. I don't want to show up at 6 a.m., but we do because we are supposed to, and we get the thing done. And you have the time as the director or the actor to make your magic, and I have the time to make my magic. And that happens in being prepared and not, waiting for being on set to get that shit sorted out.
How do you handle a director not liking your suggestions?
Well, as a general thing, I'm ambivalent and I defer to them because they're the director, If they never liked my suggestions, I would feel we weren't a good match, I wouldn't hold it against them. I'm not going to judge them just because their aesthetic is different than mine, but we may have an incompatible aesthetic. And that's just what my judgment would be. But yeah, if they were belligerent and insulting and made it personal, well, that would be weird. I've never had that happen, but for them to say, no, I don't like that idea. I'm not attached to it. We're all putting something in the pot to make something amazing. And like I said, if the PA comes up and gives me a lighting idea and it's better than mine, I'm going to do it and I'll give them credit for it. It's all for one and one for all. I'm not an ego person at all. I'm not that way, and I don't particularly care to work with people who are.
Generally speaking, how much time does it take to light a scene?
That is a range between 0 seconds and infinity.
Okay.
What's the scene? Are we, standing outside in a close-up with beautiful backlight and a cliff face that's bouncing light so it's perfect and I just turn on the camera? Or are we shooting a shot that starts in, the 101 freeway and somebody's walking down into Hollywood Boulevard? Well, that would probably be available lighting, but or is it like a Steadicam shot where we walk into this house and we walk through the back and we go into the neighbor's yard and across the street? You know what I'm saying? There's no generic answer. It's like it could be simple, it could be complicated. You'd have to give me a specific scene. And even inside of a specific scene, I can say, well, here's how long it would take if I wanted to do a really good job. And if we don't have a lot of time, here's an abbreviated version.
So in California Christmas,
Yeah.
when we first see them sitting at the kitchen nook or the breakfast table,
Yeah.
and we're finding out different things about the characters, I don't
Yeah.
want to, spoilers, I don't want to give too much away, but that there's an issue.
Yeah.
And I think it's a daylight scene. It looks like it's more morning. I
Yeah.
think they're making breakfast. Yeah. How long did it take to light that scene? It's beautiful light.
Thank you. 20 minutes maybe. But I had it roughed in before we got there. We didn't wait on it. That was already set up and we walked into it.
Ah, okay. So you're talking about 20 minutes once you walked in?
No.
Oh, okay.
It took the guys who went over there to do it 20 minutes while we were shooting something else. And then we got there, and while the actors were getting set and the props were getting set and the camera was getting set, the lighting crew tweaked it and did not infringe upon our time at all.
Ah, okay.
But the sun went down. So then we had to put a silk over that back window. I don't know if it was that scene, but we shot, we block shot a whole bunch of stuff in there. We didn't block shoot it. That's not correct. We shot, we would move the cameras around between the scenes, but we shot all of the scenes in that space at the same time. And when the sun went down, I had to cover that front window with diffusion. So if you pay close attention at a certain point, you're seeing detail out there, and then it's just white. And so that took a little bit of a reset, and we did have to wait on that because we were in the middle of that set. But it wasn't long. It took, 5-10 minutes to reset that. But, the barn took a long time. That barn, we had them in there we were on a shoot and we were on a day and I was like, okay, let's shoot exteriors so I can spin the crew off and get them started on that barn because it's going to take a long time. So, you know, and also the bar took a while. And I was nervous because we did not have a pre-light, but we did it so that we started small. We started on a small area of the bar. And as we were shooting that, behind us, they were finishing the lighting. But that's just another thing is like, you know, you do not want to wait. You want to get up shooting as fast as possible.